This is video number 5 in the walkthrough of the projects functionality in Texada's CRM. In this video, we're going to see how you can set up and configure this feature to best suit your dealership. There are two configuration keys that apply to projects in the CRM. You can find them in the Administrative Console under the Projects subgroup. The first key to know about is the master key that enables the functionality. In the event that you do not want this functionality to exist in the CRM, you can use this configuration key to turn off this feature. There is another key that controls the permissions that reps have in projects. This key allows you to select one or more of the following permissions: creating a new project, editing a project, and completing a project. By default, reps do not have the ability to complete a project. It's important to understand why setting a project's status to complete is a distinct permission. Obviously, once a construction project is complete, there will be no more construction equipment on the site. So when changing a project's status to completed, all equipment that's associated with that site will be disassociated. The next administrative area to cover is the Secured module. In the CRM, there are specific modules for the management of different parts of the application. You might not want to give everyone with executive access the ability to change certain aspects of your project's configuration. First, open the Secured Modules area via the gear icon on the top right. Then you can grant access to the Project Administration Secured module. Those who have access will now see the Project Administration Secured module under the gear icon in the executive experience. These people can now determine who is allowed to have administrative rights to the project's functionality. For those who have now been granted permissions via the Project Administration module, they will now see an additional gear icon on the top right corner of the project list screen. Clicking on it will show two menu options: Manage dropdowns and Dodge Project Mappings. Let's start with Managing dropdowns. As mentioned in earlier videos, there are multiple field values of the project's functionality that are entirely configurable by your dealership. These are project status, subcontractor roles, note tags, primary stages, primary project types, and ownership types. Only some values cannot be modified because they are system values tied to how the application functions. For example, the completed project status value cannot be renamed nor deleted. The management screens for these fields give you the ability to add, edit, and remove values from these dropdowns so that the project experience is entirely tailored to how your dealership operates. Each value also has a display order property that determines the order it appears in the UI. This can be important for situations where certain values make more sense to be at the top of the list because it's used more often, or at the bottom of the list because it follows a logical sequence like the life cycle of a project. Let's move on to Dodge Project Mappings. In this part of the application, you can set up how the system will automatically set the primary stage, primary project type, and ownership type of a project when creating a project from Dodge. In this example, Dodge entries with primary stage values of either bidding or GC bidding will result in the automatic selection of the dealer-defined value of bidding. Once you have this set up across all the values, the process of creating a project from Dodge becomes much smoother. Let's take this bridge preservation project, for example. Its primary project type in Dodge is bridge, its primary stage is bidding, and its ownership type is state. Let's now click on the Create Project button for this Dodge entry. Scrolling down, you'll see that the ownership type of the project is set to governmental, the stage is set to bidding, and the project type is set to infrastructure. This is thanks to the mapping that we had set up in the administrative area you just saw. If the Dodge entry has a value that is not mapped, the field will not have a value set. This concludes the 5th video walkthrough of the project's functionality.